Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a bit of an update video and an announcement of a new project, which is this here. We'll look at that in a second. First, there's been a number of events happening in the lab recently, and I thought I'd make a channel update video, explain to everybody what's been going on and where we might be going in the future. So some of you may have realised and noticed that I went over 10,000 subscribers a few weeks ago. Absolutely amazing achievement. When I set up this channel back in 2013, I never expected to get to 10,000. I thought maybe a few hundred people might enjoy the things that I make here. So absolutely amazing that there's 10,000 of you out there now. Thank you very, very much for subscribing and watching over all of those years. Thank you very much. Now, when I started this channel back in 2013, it was literally just me making some teardown videos and just doing random things. And since then, it's really just been a bit of a hobby, a bit of a laugh. I enjoyed making the videos. The things that I was going to be doing on camera, I probably would have done anyway. So all I was doing was just documenting it for everybody else to see. So it was nice that you've enjoyed that. But as I said, it was kind of just a hobby really. I never expected it to get to where it is now. But this puts me now in a position where I could go like, should I actually do a bit more with this channel? Should I be a bit more professional with it? Should I take more time making videos, better content, things like that? So what I'm going to try and do in the future is to make better content, plan things a bit better, try and be a bit more professional and put more interesting things into the videos. That probably means there might be less teardowns. Teardowns haven't really been a thing of late. That's one of the reasons for that is because I just haven't managed to find things to take apart. They do make interesting videos, but I must admit I do like content where I actually repair or fix, build something. For me, it's a bit more satisfying than just taking something apart. I think there'll always be teardowns on this channel. It's always been a thing of mine. Even when I was a kid, I used to just love taking things to bits. Sometimes they went back together, sometimes they didn't. So teardowns will definitely still be a thing on the channel, but maybe not quite so much. Now, one of the things that has been a bit of a limiting factor in making better quality videos is the size of my little lab here. For one, it's not very big. Two, it's chock full of a load of rubbish. I really need a big clear out. So I'm going to be doing a big clear out, getting rid of loads of old stuff that I literally don't need. And I'm going to be planning on changing the lab around a little bit. So instead of having this desk here, which is basically, it's the desk that I sit at when I browse the web, watch videos, and all that, and I also do projects and stuff on here, and that's not very in keeping with doing decent projects. As you can imagine, some projects take multiple days to film, and having a place where I also sit down and do my regular browsing, having that in the same place just doesn't work, because you get halfway through a project and you can't finish it in that day, so I have to pack it away and then drag it all out again the next day, try and remember where I was up to, and things like that. So it's not very productive in that sense. So what I want to do is clear out some stuff out of the lab. I'm going to be putting some extra tables in. This desk will probably go, and I'm going to put a desk in right down the side of the lab here. I'm not going to show you right now. I'll probably do a video on that separately. So there'll be a big desk going down the length of here, and I can set up little workstations, so I'll have my PC on one, a workspace on another, things like that. So it should make it a lot easier to make videos. Now, if you want to support the channel, you're more than welcome. I've got a number of patrons who have been extremely loyal and generous over the years, and if you want to become a patron yourself, there'll be links in the video description. That will go a long way to help fund things like changing the lab around, and being a bit more professional about things. There's a few upgrades I want to try and do as well. I need a new microphone and various things. I've just built myself a new PC for editing. I could potentially do 4K, but at the moment I've got no desire to move to 4K just yet. I think HD is just fine for what I'm doing at the moment. In terms of other funding, because I've gone over 10,000 subs now on YouTube, I will probably be creating a merchandise store. I've got a few designs for some t-shirts and stuff that I'm going to throw up there, and that might be a better option for those people who don't want to become patrons. You might just want to buy yourself a t-shirt and help fund the channel that way. Now, regarding the recent changes on YouTube about the mid-roll adverts being switched on by default, I have opted out of that program. For a very, very long time, you may have noticed there's been no mid-roll adverts on my videos. Those type of adverts annoyed me immensely, and I decided if I hate them, then I guess you must do as well. So I had them turned off quite a long time ago, actually, and there's only adverts at the beginning, at the end, and I do allow the banner adverts, but none of those they just bug me that you're just watching and then all of a sudden an advert just gets thrown at you. And it's even worse when you click on a video and all you can see is the progress bar, and there's like 6 yellow little markers, and you're just going to be pummeled with adverts. So those are turned off and are staying off. While we're talking about funding, I would like to thank PCBWay for also sponsoring the channel. If you're in the need for having some custom made PCBs, prototype, low volume, all that sort of stuff, PCBWay are brilliant. I've done a lot to support this channel. I can't advocate them enough. I've certainly had their own PCBs here that I've used, and I'll actually be using them on this machine when I restore it as well. So thank you very much to PCBWay. Right, I think I've said pretty much all I need to say, so let's have a look at this lovely bit of kit here. So a few weeks ago I was contacted by a guy in Germany, Michael, who said, I want a paint box, and I said, yeah, right. But it turned out he was serious, and I actually knew somebody who had one that was working. I'd actually worked on it previously and got it working for him, and I contacted him and said, somebody wants to buy a paint box, do you want to sell yours? And we've basically come to an arrangement, and this is going to be sold to Michael in Germany. But before that happens, we need to fix it up, because there's a few things that have happened with it since I last looked at it, and it also needs some upgrades and a little bit of TLC to make sure that it stays reliable for the next few years. So this is a mid-1990s Quantel paint box. It's going to need to be fixed up. There's been a number of issues with it. Firstly, there's a capacitor blown on one of the boards on this. This is the video output card. And these two chips here, the dreaded STV 1601s, I believe these are faulty. There is no SDI output coming off this card, so I'm pretty certain that these are going to need the same replacement chip board that I made for my Quantel ramcorder. I'm going to need to do the same onto this to fix its SDI digital video outputs. So that's something we're going to need to do. The hard disk is also going to need to come out and be replaced. That's going to get swapped for a SCSI to SD card. We're also going to try and get the bridge processor card working. You might not have seen one of these before. This is basically a networking card, although it is unfortunately only 10 base 2, so it's coax. So I might need to also look at some kind of media converter to convert this into twisted pair. But we're going to look at seeing if we can get this working as well, because Michael would also like to be able to pull images off this machine over the network like I can do on my Paintbox Express. And of course, as well as fixing up the main system, there'll be all the keyboard, the tablet and all that sort of stuff, which is going to need to be cleaned and restored ready before it goes off to Germany. So thanks very much for watching. Keep an eye out for the merchandise store appearing. I'll certainly be making an announcement about that, and also keep an eye out for part 1 of the restoration of this Quantel paint box, and of course updates about changing the lab around. That will probably happen after I've restored this paint box, because it needs to get done and then get sent off to Germany. So that'll happen first, and then we'll look at changing the lab around. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.